Okay, so today we're going to change out some of our fluids. We're going to try and do uh, the engine oil, and we're going to try and do the lower and upper gear case. And we've got everything for that, I think. So note about everything, I've been trying to research using the internet and our good old manual here, make sure we're putting the right juices in. And so there's this debate out there about the shifting mechanisms, and this is a 1978 motor with a 78 actual 400 outdrive, and that was new for 78. And previously, from as near as I can tell from everything I've read, the previous generation of outdrives were the hydroelectric shifting mechanism, which did require the thinner viscosity type C fluid. For this year, it's an electric shift, like an electric assist shift, and it basically requires, specifically, it requires the gear case requires the OMC high vis gear case lube, which is effectively 90 weight. So if you try and track it down on the internet, you'll find that the Type C that OMC sold became their what they call the premium blend, and this high viscosity gear case lube, even if you buy it by the part number, you get sent this XPS 90 weight marine gear tube, which is actually either produced for or by, this is the OEM part number for BRP OMC. It says right on here, recommended for use in Honda, Mercury, Suzuki, Yamaha, Evinrude, Johnson outboard models from 1973 to present, and for Mercruiser, Volvo, OMC stern drives made from 1978 to present. So this is definitely the stuff. If you're working on these 1978 or newer ones, it's not the same as the Type C. So I think you want to make sure of that. And again, this is what it specifies in the manual for both the upper and lower outdrive, and then for our actual engine oil, it does require an SAE 30, and that actually shows it on one of these pages. Here we go. If you're going to be running it in 32 degrees and up, use SAE 30 for the crankcase, and that's definitely what we're doing. For that, it's a little surprisingly hard to find a straight SAE 30, so I found some of this STP. It was a choice between generic or STP at my local auto parts store, so I got that. And then requires 4 quarts with the filter. I have a new filter here somewhere, and we're gonna do 3 quarts of SAE 30, and then we're gonna replace one of those quarts with some Marvel mystery oil. So first thing we have to do, we've also got this, because it's not a car, so just pull a drain plug out the bottom and let it drain. We had to get this kit that's an electric drill pump that we supposedly feed down there, and then it sucks out all the oil. So we're gonna see what that's about. But the first thing we gotta do is kind of run the engine and let it warm up, get that oil warm so it's not coagulated in there, get it nice and loose, and then we'll go ahead and try and suck it out. Again, this is, I'm doing this on my stuff from what I've researched and found on both the internet and read a bunch of forums. Try to make sure you're using the right thing, get an understanding of what we're dealing with here. Your mileage may vary, so I speak to what I've concluded and what I'm going to do. So let's and try to give you reasons as to why I got to those conclusions. And so we're just going to see if we can change these fluids and then see how it runs after that. And if we do that today, then maybe the other thing we're going to try and do is a compression test on all the cylinders and maybe get an indication of where that's all at. So we're going to fire up the motor here and let it rip for a little bit, and then we'll try and change some of this oil. One thing I did before I got started here too is I used the trim to, since in this the trim actually moves the entire motor, I trimmed it in such a way that this motor is now level on the ground here, and that way all the oil should drain back into the pan properly, and we'll have the best chance of extracting it. We should hopefully extract about 4 quarts or so, so we'll see about that. All right, we're gonna see if we can fire her. See what, it's been sitting for a week, so we'll actually kind of get an idea of how that actually goes. So let's see if we can get her started up here. Well, start on the first try, baby. Better than most of my cars. Okay, a little over 106 degrees, running a little warm. But we've been running it for about 15-20 minutes. We're gonna probably call that warm and shut her down and try and see if we can extract some of this oil here. While we're getting ready for that, most of the oil should drain back into the drain pan, and hopefully we get everything. All right, so I think we've got our line fed down there. I shoved it till I felt like it hit bottom. Feels like it's sealing pretty good. So hopefully that'll be enough to uplift the oil. And that goes to our drill. It's connected here, and then to this dump hose, and then to a oil pan I've got here. And this blue tape, that one there, the bottom of it, marks 4 quarts. So we'll get an idea of how much we actually pull out. So I don't know, let's start the extraction and see if that actually works. And that's gonna be a little difficult because I have to drill and hold this at the same time, otherwise it'll just spin wildly. And so I don't know, let me see if we can. What you really want to see is what's going on over here, actually. See if we start getting any action there. Let's see if I can arrange that for you. All right, so on these motors there's a extraction thing, and I wonder what this is for. And then I read the manual, of course, and right here, that actually just unscrews, and it's actually the thread is, I believe, like a 3/4 inch garden hose. So if you have the right adapter, there's an actual, you know, factory OMC kit that it was out there, but I couldn't find it, that like just screwed right onto that. And I'm sure there's probably some other aftermarket ones. I didn't really realize that was the case, but since I got this one, there's a little tiny tube that we're gonna intubate that thing with. So you put it, assemble it. There's a inside and an outside, so from the oil comes in, you run your drill in the forward position, and then it dumps it out this hose. Apparently, it's my first time using one of those. You're supposed to tape up the end so it doesn't draw that in. We feed this down that little hole and until it hits bottom, and then pull it back about 1/4 inch, and then kind of tape it so it doesn't move a whole lot. So I'm gonna do that, and then start sucking. Okay, well, we got a little tripod action so we can watch that. So we're gonna start pumping and see if we get any oil. Let's see if we can drill for oil. work, we're gonna try and shove the thing down the hole some more, so maybe we can get all the way down. Okay, we finally hit pay dirt. We increased the speed on the drill and started flowing. So let's just flow it. Look at it, it's a gusher. Okay, so this setup actually worked pretty well. We got 4 quarts of dirty ass oil. This thing worked, this drill pump worked. It sucked it out as advertised. So we're gonna go ahead and drain this into our old grease bucket and then commence to reloading it with some fresh oil. Okay. All right. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change out the oil filter, and we're gonna try and be quick about that because I imagine it's gonna leave a little bit of a goo trail when we pull it out of there. Got my wrench ready. So this is, if you ordered the original part number and look at the succession of part numbers, this is the current OEM replacement. I think there's an AC Delco they recommend, and a Purolator. So hang on, we'll find that out for sure. So here are the actual filter recommendations from the manual. And yeah, there's a, so if you look for the OMC number, then you end up with the one we got, or you can track down these Purolators or the AC one, and they're all a little expensive, but there's like other equivalents out there. But anyway, I found the original. I'm sure it's just made by Wix or Fram or something, but so we're gonna pop that baby on there, and then we're gonna refill the crankcase. All right, so here's this one. You see that part number there, and then we're gonna take a little oil and rub it around on this rubber part all the way around so we get a good seal when we pop it on there. So we're gonna pre-do that, and then we're gonna work on getting the one off that's in here. Hopefully that just comes right off, but right. Okay, hopefully that is, there we go. So let's see if we can crank off that oil filter and get our new one in place before we drip too much oil down up in there. I feel is like an inevitable thing. I suppose I could put something down. Maybe we'll put some paper towels down there just to shore up our odds of success. Alright, let's put these shop towel down in there just to maybe soak up something. Maybe not. Like I said, just trying to. Alright, well, let's see. Well, it's not coming off by my hand. So let's try the old oil cranker offer. Oh yeah, that's it. Let's see. Are we going the right way? Yep. Yep, nope, we were doing that right. Oh, we bent it in, that's awesome. Usually don't have problems with this oil wrench, but holy shit, there we go. There we go. Coming to daddy. That baby was on there. Oh, fucking hell. Let's try and get this off fast and get our other one, our pre-lubed one, in there. You don't want to insert anything unless you're fully lubed. Holy shit. Oh, god damn it. See, that's what we didn't want to have happen. You see that, folks? That was fucked up. We were successful until we weren't. Fucking hell. We almost did it, too. Almost did it. Good thing we put that down there, though. Still pretty, oh god damn it, it's a fucking mess. Oh shit. Not everything goes smooth, people. Not everything goes smooth. God damn it, that is empty. Oh, fuck. The whole filter fucking worth the oil. Fucking fuck. It's nice and clean too. Shit. Fucking fuck. Everything. Oh, fuck. Son of a bitch. That's a super major bummer. We had it. We had it. Well, that's gonna have to be there. Sorry, I had to see that, people. Fucking general incompetence. Running out of carpet area. Sorry, bud. Sorry I ruined you. Sorry you fell into my hands. I'm gonna fuck on with you. You're out there on the internet and you're watching this. You've like stayed along this long. Fuck. You need to get your shit figured out and get a life. Speed that part up. Alright, well, that's about as good. I'm not care to get it right now. Ah, you fucks. Sorry for the language. Not the first person to do that. Be the last time I do that. Okay. There you go, man. Almost successfully cleanly changed everything. It didn't. Ugh. Alright, well, it is what it is now. Everything got a nice oily sheen down there. Camera. Oh no. Okay, well, after that wonderful debacle, kind of cleaned it up in there. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe a little oil. Anyway, we got our pre-lubed new filter, and we're gonna just go ahead and screw that baby on and give it a little tightening and fill her up. Oh, let's see if we can do that without fucking it up somehow. But I'm constantly amazed by my capability to make a good situation go bad. Get that up on there. hand tightened according to the thing, but we might just give it a that's really hand tightened. We'll see how that does. So we want to dent it. Give it a little bit of a crank here. Not much, just enough to if we can even get it. There we go. Just a little tiny bit. So we can see the logo. All right. So you can see that fucking thing. I probably missed it anyway. All right. So that's on. Our oil filter's on. We're going to commence to the filling. Okay. All right. So we have got the engine oil spot there. We've got STP SA30, and then we've got our quart of Marvel mystery oil. I've had good luck in it with that generally over the years, so why stop now? It seems like people have used it in their marine engines without any major harm, so we're going to try that too. Got our funnel ready to go. That's fun. This thing, much to my surprise, in case you're having this trouble, does not screw off. It just pops off, pulls straight up, and out it comes. Got our funnel. We're gonna go ahead and start with our Marvel mystery oil. Hold on, put a spot of oil on the paint itself, so we're gonna wipe that up real quick. Okay. Anyway, where was it? Okay. Modern Marvel mystery oil. So we're gonna go ahead and dump that in. Committed now. Nice thing about this is at least there's no drain plug we have to remember to. Oh yeah, listen to it go in there into that empty engine. This will help too because it should clear out any sludge in any passageways, and so with the new filter it'll good. That's fun if I'm watching my elbow. Oh yeah, there you go. All right, 1 quart. Now we'll put in our 3 remaining quarts of SA30. I was looking for like GTX or Castrol, you know, GTX Classic SA30. Nobody seemed to have it. I would have preferred that, but hey, I think Richard Petty raced on STP, so it's good enough for him. Should be good enough for our supposedly, you know, whatever GM derived 4-cylinder motor from the 80s. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do the STP. We're gonna just do 3 quarts of that and make us our 4-quart, hit our 4-quart capacity. Oh yeah, nice and clear like honey, not all black, cruddy like the stuff that came out. A little thicker. I'll not be surprised if that sound I'm hearing is it just draining down into the bottom of the boat. Yeah, that was fucking, that pisses me off, people. That pisses me off. My own general incompetence. Next one. Down the hatch, boys. Okay. Sorry, I had to take a swig of soda. All right, last one. It's so fucking boring. I'm getting bored. Okay. This will make our 4-quart dreams come true. There you go. Put this guy out there. Put this guy in. We have 4 quarts of fresh ass oil in there. Okay. Well, our water's on. We're gonna go ahead and fire this baby up and see if she likes the new oil and hopefully doesn't, you know, explode. Seems like she's working. Didn't miraculously clear our knock, but yeah, seems like she's running. Definitely gonna probably have to replace that valve cover gasket. Other than that, didn't see any major blowouts. Yeah. We'll see what happens. All right, next on to the gear oil change. Pressure was good too. Okay, and now we're gonna fill our upper and lower gear case. And here is the specifications on that. For this 140, it's a, well, doesn't matter, they're both the same. 13.5 in the upper and 33.8. So we're gonna make a little more than a quart. So you always have to buy 2 quarts of our stuff in the lower. So we're gonna go ahead and drain those and then refill them as it specifies here. In the manual, there's some of the text. And yeah, we'll just do what the instructions say. All right, so we're gonna do the lower first. Now, I've done this once before on my outboard, and it's not too terribly difficult of a process, and there's a lot of videos that's effectively the same the same process. So you need your specified gear oil, which is this, the XPS Marine high performance gear lube. And you want to make sure and use a Marine gear lube, even though it's a 90. You can't just go to the auto parts store and buy, you know, a 90 weight gear lube that's for an automobile. As I in my reading in my travels, and I'll pass this along, there are emulsifiers and ingredients in here that help if you do have water intrusion in your gear case. Instead of it just being separating out and you're running, it kind of absorbs it a little bit or whatever, so you can at least limp home and you don't immediately blow things up. So I definitely would recommend getting a marine grade gear lube. And again, this is the stuff that came from BRP factory, you know, stuff, which the Bombardier Corporation. And yeah, so should be the right stuff. Find out in case it blows up. So what we got to do is drain this sucker first. You're gonna need one of these things, the transfer pump, oil pump deal, and we'll go through that. But so the recommended way to do this is there's a little screw down here. That's the actual drain plug, and then you take that out first, and it'll kind of dribble or not come out at all. And then there's another one up here that it will vent it basically at the top of it, and then we should start getting pretty good flow. So we're gonna try and take that off. Take the bottom one out first. Down here, got the big screwdriver. These are big screws. Oh, there you go. Not too bad. Pop that guy off. Oh, we're dribbling. Uh-oh. Probably dribbling too much. We're dribbling on the street. Probably should have tilted up the what's it a little bit. Do that real quick. Sorry, road. That's a mess, ain't it? It's probably an angle where that gets less messy. Oh, that's a bad one, you guys. That's bad. Well, now we can. Well, a little bit of whatever. Okay. What we'll do is see if we can kind of drop this back down on there so that it's vertical, and then we can properly drain that in there. It's not good looking. Do that without fucking that up. Yeah, that worked about right. Oh, we got a propeller stuck. There we go. That's what we want to have happen. A little messy. Hopefully the EPA doesn't stop by. Then we'll pull this vent inside. There we go. Now it's luking out. Probably should have done that first earlier. Now we know. Knowing is half the battle. We'll just let that drain for a little bit. come back when that is done dribbling. So it's pretty much stopped dribbling, and we're gonna see if we can reload this thing now. Yeah, so we gotta pump it till a little bit comes out of that top drain hole. So I'm cleaning the threads on my pump right now. We're gonna just sit and got a little gritty. Not as fun as you think. Okay, we're gonna taking so long. Hold on, I'm working on it. It's not drilling as planned. Let's just pause a second here. Okay, well, we got those threads cleaned off, so we've got this end, which has to be inserted into the bottom hole, and then we insert that into the oil can. Miraculously, everything fits, I think. Well, maybe not. Oh, that could be a problem. I think it would be somewhat universal. You would think. Oh, careful. But this is fucking great. Oh yeah. Just like I told her. I think it's in. Yep. I got it. Alright. Oh shit. So that's fun. Got that in there. Go ahead and open up our oil gear tube. I'm gonna just stick it in and then start pumping, right? That's how it goes. There we go. We're pumping. I think you might have missed most of that fun because I fucked up recording somehow, but anyway, once you're all connected, you thread the end and do that, and you pump away until the oil starts to come out of the top here. We can validate that. We'll give it a pump. See if we get a little more. Let it settle. Let's see. Yep, it's starting to ooze back out there. So we effectively filled that. And we'll put our drain plugs back in. And when you put those screws back in, you got to get some of these babies, these little gaskets, little washers, little plastic washers. Get them set to 5. And just these. The other ones are kind of get a little hard, and so you get some new one of those to put on. And there's 2 screws. One with a, I'll show you. I'm just putting the threads on real quick, or the washers on real quick. So there's 2 of these things. There's 2. One of them's a little longer than the other, and that's got a magnet on it, so that's going to be our bottom one. That gets little filings and whatnot out, and then there's a shorter one that goes on the top. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our top one in, because that sort of creates a little airlock. So when we pull the hose, not as much, we don't lose as much, and we just got to be kind of fast once we get going on that. I'm fast on the screwing, which I know most of you guys are. Okay, so put our shorter one, and then now for our next trick, we're gonna see if we can drain this one, drain the upper part of it, see where it goes. I have no idea where it's gonna go. Probably gonna get all over everything though, so we'll see. There's a top plug up here and then the drain plug right here, so let's find out what kind of mess that's gonna make. Straight down, miss. Let her rip. Yummy. And there's a plug up here. Pull this. That should start the flow. There we go. Now she's draining. Go ahead. We'll let that drain and we'll be back. So now that the oil is basically drained, so the top thing actually acts as a dipstick. There's a little mark right there. And the way you measure this is you don't screw it in, but you just set it in on top and then look for it to hit that level as you fill it. There's also another gasket in here that has to be replaced. So you get some of these babies. There you go. That's from Sierra. And there's those that have to be popped out. I'm going to pop this old one out here. I thought I was, rather. Thought I was going to be clever about it. I had some dirt and gunk on it, so we're definitely getting rid of that. We'll clean the seat a little bit. Fun part is I don't edit any of this, so I did all of it. The boring parts. Hit record. I thought I did. I don't know. This is going to be a sucky video because this phone's not holding. Anyway, got our dipstick thing, and that just sets on top of here after you replace the old gasket, and then we start filling. I'm going to kind of wipe this a little bit, see if it's still draining. Not really. Not enough to really care about right now. Don't think you're not going to get dirty. That's wrong. All right, we're going to reconnect our deal here and start pumping until we feel like we're getting pretty close. It's 13. It's on 20, a little above 28. So we go down to what, 15 or so. Yeah. So we'll do that. Going in here, right here. Pain in the ass. That nice and good on there. A bit more, a lot more. Get that slack out of her. You know, it's an easy process. It's just time consuming. All right. Okay. I don't know why these videos are having trouble all of a sudden. I think I'm running out of space. Anyway, we're pumping.
it's going. Just ways to go. Take it down to about around 16 or so. We know we'd be close. Oh, okay. Well, we filled it. We filled it. Oh yeah, we filled it. Oh fucking hell, we did. We got a gusher. That's fine. That's fine. Guess we should have been checking that more on the way. Still filming. Cool. All right, well, we're gonna pull this off. We're gonna let it drain a little bit because we overfilled it, and then we're gonna stick in our main plug. Crank her down. Drain out. Be good. Oh, it's so greasy. So greasy. All right, we're gonna grab our dipstick and we're gonna check the level and kind of let it out until we need to. So again, we just set this on top to do our measuring. All right, well, at some level we were able to finish filling and recapping putting the drain plugs in our out drive. Got it leveled, ran it for a little bit, spun the gearbox. Everything seemed like it was smooth, no real, remarkable change, but now we know we have a known quantity and a known quality of our gearcase oil and our engine oil now. And probably gonna stop at that. I think it was probably a less than, even for the quality of videos I've been doing, it was probably a shitty set. So, but whatever, it's going up there for my own purposes. If I'm old, I can look back at the experience. And we did discover two things. One, my prop nut was really loose, so I did tighten that down. There's no cotter pin, so I gotta get one of those and fix it. And then we also found that our blower fan, even though it was switched on, wasn't really actually turning. It's in there somewhere, and it just got hot, super hot. I could burn myself on it. So we'll be replacing that here in the next set of videos. So enjoy, and I'm sorry if you had to watch all that.